Well. I am so excited to be here and to share one of my heroes when it comes to a person who lived in the moment. You know, when I was in Bible college, there were so many things that were being thrown at me and so many different leaders and so many people to get perspective on. But there was this one quote that stood out because I was aggressively doing outreach. And this quote just permeated my heart. It penetrated and just stuck there. And his quote was from a man named John Wesley. "The world is my parish," is what he said. Now, it later was moved to, or kind of quoted as, "the world is my pulpit." But when I heard that, it moved me powerfully with regards to mission. And it made me want to understand, who is this man? Who is this guy that would say such a thing? He was an Anglican clergyman, which means that most of the time they preached in the church. Most of the time, most of their services and everything was all related to the church building. So what would motivate this person to say and do such a thing? Well, one thing that we know about John Wesley was actually one of the first most powerful, charismatic Pentecostal leaders. In fact, some would say that he launched that movement aggressively and powerfully when he separated himself from the church. And now, most of the folks wouldn't even think about that because we all know John Wesley as the man who launched the Methodist Church. Well, this guy was probably one of the most powerful missionaries, all because he understood what it meant to live in those Kairos moments. It was said that he was so connected with God through the power of the Holy Spirit that when people looked at him, you could tell that he was in a relationship with a higher being. People could tell that he was in direct connection with God. And you could see his operation in the Holy Spirit with the Lord. I believe it was because of that he understood exactly when his Kairos moments were happening. One big Kairos moment was when he finished at Oxford and was becoming a great theologian. There was somebody who pulled him aside and said something that changed his life forever. He said, "Listen, John, you can't have your Christianity and your holy pious moments only in the church or independently. You have to do it amongst brothers. You have to do it amongst the saints. If you want your Christianity to work well, it has to be done in the context of family, in the context of a group." That changed John Wesley's life. In fact, he started a group with his brother called the Holy Cub, and they were the four most powerful guys of their times, reading the Bible together, praying together, fasting together. Do you know what that sounds like to me? That sounds like a DG group. With John Wesley's incredible relationship with the Holy Spirit and with his understanding of doing Christianity in fellowship with brothers, he took that to America. And guess what? He bombed. He absolutely failed. He had a heart to bring mission to America and take it to the Indians, but he was so radical that a lot of the folks rejected what it was that he was saying, and he was sent back home to England. He was punished for his outgoing, evangelistic, charismatic ways, and he was told he could never preach in the church, ever. Periodically, some people would ask him to preach in the church, but for the most part, the Anglican community abandoned him. Now, this is what was great about his Kairos moment. Most of us, when that happens, when we have a storm that hisses that powerfully, we want to give up and say it's over. And when you have the whole church saying it's done for you, you would think that you would walk away from that. But Wesley's Kairos moment with the Holy Spirit was, if I can't preach in the church, then I'll preach outside the church. John Wesley started a movement that was so powerful that the Methodist movement, when it was done, had close to over 140,000 people that he brought to the Lord. And since he believed in the Holy Spirit and the passion of what God was doing, he was one of the first guys that introduced power ministry. When he preached, it wasn't just a sermon. When he worked with people, it just wasn't him standing there. He actually prayed and believed in miracles. He saw people healed. He prayed and believed for healing for himself. John Wesley was a powerful man in the Holy Spirit that moved the power of God onto people, and it caught a fire and a revolution in his times that turned the church upside down. All because in his Kairos moment, he decided to listen to God and not man. I know that for a lot of us currently right now, sometimes it seems kind of scary, and we're thinking, gosh, what's going on with my career? What's going on with everything with regards to me and my family in the pandemic? I want to encourage you with this incredible message that we're getting from Pastor Dave right now, that our church is currently in the best and most incredible Kairos moments we could possibly be in. There are so many things that we're doing, and we're asking you to join us in it. Well, one way you can join us in that is through your tithes and offerings. When you give, you are giving to some of the most incredible programs that this pandemic has seen in Van Nuys. You're giving to us feeding the poor and praying for the poor. You're giving to us and planting churches and doing so many incredible things. Church, this is our Kairos moment right now. Follow God and follow the Spirit. Close your eyes and say, Lord, I know it's time for me to give my tithe, but God, what else can I give today? And let God speak to your heart. And may this be an incredible Kairos moment for you. And may you be like John Wesley and turn this pandemic upside down for Jesus Christ and change a world. God bless you.